Huntsville Hospital system have been a significant spike in COVID-19 cases. In fact, hospital officials says things are still just as serious as they were a year ago. A year and a half ago, Ayanna Willoughby tells us why this is happening and how we can prevent another devastating outbreak.
This is the Huntsville Hospital visitors parking garage, and if COVID-19 cases don't slow down soon, there might not be any room in here.
Yesterday, we peaked at 42 patients in Madison County.
Huntsville Hospital system has seen an increase in COVID-19 cases, and health officials say it's a combination of things.
So right now, we're seeing a spike in our number of hospitalized patients.
The Delta variant, 4th of July holiday, and the lack of vaccinations could be to blame.
Combine those three items, and we kind of are where we expected we would be.
Huntsville Hospital says things are just as serious as they were a year and a half ago.
Today, we're at 35 inpatients. 6 of those are in the ICU.
Over the last few weeks, we've seen more and more cases of the Delta variant in Alabama. Scientists say it's far more contagious than you think.
Y'all know it's about 10 times more
Once you're fully vaccinated, officials say you can stop wearing your mask. The concern is only 1/3 of Alabamians have gotten a vaccine shot. Huntsville Hospital says if that doesn't change, another wave could hit, and they're ready.
So we're ready to meet the challenge if it arises. We hope it doesn't, but we exercise, discuss, plan, implement all the time.
Huntsville Hospital and the Alabama Department of Public Health are keeping a close watch on cases and other data.
We're prepared. We meet every day and discuss our numbers.
Our website, rocketcitynow.com, has the answers on any questions you may have about where to get a vaccine shot or a COVID test. Putting the Valley first, Ayanna Willoughby, WZDX News.